Hey, Matt, good to see you. Very eventful night outside of practice here with NBA games being postponed, MLS games being postponed. Did you address the Wisconsin police shooting with your team? And if so, could you tell us what you said?
So I met with a couple, when I saw the NBA had canceled, I met with a couple of the leaders, a couple of guys on our team. And I know they had talked, just sort of said, hey, what were your guys' thoughts at? Where are your hearts, where are your minds at in terms of practicing, not practicing? And I know they had mixed emotions, and I was there to support them no matter what. I think, they wanted to be in support of the NBA. They obviously wanted to be in support of, social justice. But I think in the end, they also felt like, they wanted to do something impactful. They wanted to take some time and do something besides just, missing a Wednesday night practice. I think they recognized a lot of people here in Charlotte were, anticipating seeing them playing. And I just think they felt like, let's do this at the right time. As I said at the beginning of the TV broadcast, I think the biggest thing that I took away that I said to the team at the end is, even though I'm trying to listen and even though I think I understand to a degree, as some of the players told me, like the perpetual rage and the perpetual anger and fear and disenfranchisement and all these things that guys are feeling, like it manifests itself differently in different ways. But it's not right that guys feel this way, that our guys are forced to feel this way, that even though we stand up on the streets and protest and demand change, that these things aren't changing, that these things are still happening. And so, I heard not just a call for social justice, but I heard like the feelings of the men that I care about loud and clear. And so I told them, I said, again, this is a movement that's run by these men on our team, and they want to do something impactful, and they want to do something thoughtful, and they want to do something real, not just a statement. And so I think that's where they're headed, and I'm anxious to head there with them. And I do think the message that I heard today is, it's time for change. Like something's got to change. Like we just can't keep doing this and saying something's going to change. We have to make a change. And I think the Carolina Panthers are completely committed to that.
Coach Luke Lydon here with WFMY out of Greensboro. Obviously, a little bit of a different environment here tonight. What was your main takeaway from practice? Maybe something you like to see the most and something you think can be worked upon in the future?
Oh, well, there's a lot of things to work upon. I'm one of those coaches I'm always finding the negative, and just trying to correct it. And they're in the grind of camp right now. They're a little bit tired. They're a little bit, their legs are tired. But, I thought we went down to some of those periods. We did that inside run 9-on-7, and it was violent and physical, and guys were striking and getting off blocks. I always love to see, our command of the offense. I thought we hit a bunch of big plays. So I thought there was some real physicality in the run game and on defense. I thought there was some great effort on special teams. It was great to see Joey make some long kicks. And I loved seeing Teddy's command out there in the 2-minute, managing those situations, getting the defense to jump. As I said to our team, there's a long way to go that we jumped on 4th and 5, with the game on the line. Like we have a long ways to go. But I liked several of those things that I mentioned.
Hey, Matt, Josh Graham. It seems we saw Brandon making a couple big catches again. So is he kind of leading that next group when you get past DJ, Robbie, and Curtis?
I think we have a good group of guys in that next group. We have Zylstra. Seth Roberts has been, banged up. So he came out here today and did some non-contact. Farrell Cooper, someone that we have a lot of confidence in. We're anxious to get Kirkwood back. So, and then some of the other guys that we've just acquired are just starting to, catch on. So I like the entire group. I think we're going to have some really hard decisions at wideout, but I think that's going to be a good thing. We have guys and they're starting to play on special teams and do a really nice job on special teams as well.
Hey, Matt, it's Elena. I was just wondering, when you have those conversations with players right before practice, how do you have a conversation about everything that's going on that's so important and still have them be able to focus on practice? What is that conversation like, and how do you make practice important daily?
Well, I think those conversations are the most important thing, right? When we forget about it being as players and coaches, but we think about it as being people. I think anytime someone has something that's on their heart, I think anytime that someone has something, if they're hurting, I think if anybody has something that they're passionate about, then we want to talk to them. And, it's not like guys are coming, to me necessarily. I mean, they're talking to each other. I just reached out to a couple guys and said, hey, tell me what you think. And they did. And they did really strongly and honestly. And I think that's important. So, the football's going to be there. We're at a really important time in our society. And, it just took time. You can't sit there and say like, hey, we need to listen to each other, and then say, but we got to get to practice. Like take the time to listen, take the time to talk, take the time to hear, take the time to then finally act and do something. And I think our guys I think everyone's saying, the NBA saying, everyone's saying it's time to do something. And so I know that our guys want to do something. I just know that, they want to make sure that they do what they want to do. They respect what everyone else does. They want to do what they want to do. And I think it was really cool. The leaders, those guys that felt passionate about it, they also recognize that there's going to be lots of different feelings and opinions on our team. We don't all have to feel the same way, but we do have to care about each other and listen to each other. And so I think spending time with each other is the most important thing that we can ever do as families, as businesses, as societies, and certainly as a football team.
We only have time for 2 more questions.
Hey, Matt, Jonathan Alexander with Charlotte Observer. We're doing well. I'm wondering, how do you believe, these discussions, or how do you believe a solution of what the players plan to do? How do you think that'll come out? How will that kind of form from the discussions that the players have? And when do you expect, or when are players talking about when something may happen?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know any of that. All I know is I just talked about today. You know what I'm saying? I just said, hey, what do you guys want to do today? Because I knew that I could sense and feel that was on people's hearts and minds, obviously seeing what happened on the NBA. And my job is to be supportive. I certainly don't want them to be in a place where they feel like, hey, if we didn't practice today, that would affect us. So I just asked them that. I think as they left, they were saying, hey, we're resolute on, we're going to work on some things that we want to do. That would be, but that I would never want to speak for them. At the end of the day, this is a player-led movement, and I'm here to support.
Yeah, I think that was my question. Was it a player-led thing, or was it a team kind of thing that'd be going on? But it seems like it's player-led. But thank you.
Yeah, no, I think a lot of the guys talked together, and then I talked to 2 or 3 guys separately, just kind of together one-on-one. Just said, hey, where are you guys at? So I think they kind of spoke for a lot of guys in the locker room. So and then it's like anything else. I don't know the different discussions that happen, and a lot of these things are kind of happen in different rooms. I just wanted to make sure that they knew that they could come and talk to me, and I know they can certainly talk to Mr. Tepper. They can talk to Marty. We're all here to listen and help in any way we can.
Matt,
all right, guys. Hey, last question here.
Just 2 quick things, Matt. Was Eli Apple down tonight? And then it's kind of a weird question, but are you guys getting better at practicing in an empty stadium?
No, that's a good question. I think that's a great question. Number one, Eli's hamstring was just tight, so they kind of precautioned him out. Hopefully, he'll be able to go Friday. I think tonight was a really good night for us to be in the stadium. I think it was probably a little louder than it'll actually be. On Saturday, we did it just like the games will be, and I think the team that creates the most energy will have the most success. And I thought our guys tonight, when they went, had good energy. I think being under the lights and practicing, even catching the punts in the empty stadium with the backdrop and all that, I think all that's really important. So we'll try to go in the stadium again on Saturday. We'll try to go in the stadium again sometime next week. I don't want to ruin the grass, but I do want to get out there. And I think that's a really important part, is practicing in that environment.